YouTube has always been a time capsule for me.
Oh, this is already so melodramatic. So YouTube has always been a time capsule for me. I started making videos over 11 years ago on New Year's Eve 2009. My favorite part about YouTube is having my entire life documented. I can look back on all of the different eras of my life. I have videos from when I was in middle school, high school, pre-glow up, post-glow up. I have videos from when I was early on in college, freshman and sophomore year. I have junior and senior year videos, you know, when I finally feel like I grew up a little bit. I have vlogs from my entire summer of 2016 when I was living in LA. I have that post-grad era where I was traveling for a year, making so much content, growing so much as a creator. And then I have my first year in LA, in which, looking back, I was like kind of almost grappling with a bit of an identity crisis, you know, leaving college, leaving that identity behind, leaving everything that kind of gave me the sense of who I was, being a college athlete, being from New England, going to college in New England. It's kind of weird, you know? I came to a place where no one really knew who I was and where no one really cares about where you went to school. In Los Angeles, it's much more about who you know, where you've worked, what you've been doing. In a weird way, looking back, it's almost like I went through a bit of a culture shock. This past week, I turned 25, which is really weird and kind of scary. Kind of exciting, but kind of scary at the same time. I turned 25, but I have my entire life from the year that I was 13 documented. Sitting here being all nostalgic as hell, looking back at the past 12 years of my life, the past 25 years of my life, I thought that it would be cool this week to, instead of look backwards, to kind of look forwards. A few months back, I was watching one of Dodie's videos, and that video is kind of what gave me the idea and the spark to create this video. 25 is like a pretty big year. I mean, after turning 21, you don't really care about your birthdays that much anymore, but the quarter of a century thing is kind of trippy. Looking back, I had no idea that I'd be where I am today. Okay, maybe I did have a little bit of a feeling, but let me tell you, there were some twists and turns along the way that I did not see coming. Social media is a tool that we use all the time to look backwards. We get our memories on Facebook from a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We use Time Hop to show us what we tweeted today, 4 years ago. Even Instagram introduced their archive to show you what you were doing 4 years ago. Snapchat memories have really been a killer during this pandemic because you're like, oh wow, look at how beautiful my life was a year ago. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to use it to look forward. Dear future Aaron, do you still live in Hollywood? Or are you even still living in LA? Or did you get sick of it and did you move back east? Or did you move back to Europe? Please tell me that you've at least been able to travel back to Europe. Or just been able to travel, at all. I hope by the time you're watching this, we've made it out of the pandemic. I hope America's still one country. I hope we're a little bit united than we are right now in 2021. Hey, future me, are you still working in entertainment? Honestly, I'll be shocked if you left the entertainment world, but you've learned a lot the past year and a half since you moved to LA. I'm very curious to see where you'll be in 5 years, 10 years. I hope you figured out what it is you want to do. Or at least that you're just doing what you want to do rather than what you think you need to be doing. Have you been following your gut over the past few years? Or do you still doubt yourself? Are you still spending your time making videos? Are you making videos for yourself or for other people? Does social media still bring you joy? Or has it completely just changed into anxiety? Is Hollywood still as noisy as it was in 2021? Dear God, I hope you're living in a quieter neighborhood than Hollywood by 2026. Are you still friends with anybody from Cooperstown? What about from Tufts? Have you kept up with everyone? Who's married at this point? I definitely have a few guesses, but I'll restrain from putting them in the video because as of right now, I feel like me coming into a YouTube video and being like, did so-and-so get married is the same thing as putting high school sweethearts pictures all over a yearbook. Has the NOLA crew still been going on vacations every single year? I mean, after this pandemic, I think you're all in the mindset of damn, I will never miss another one, but have you made $1 million yet? Does money matter to you? I feel like it'll matter to you less in the future once you're kind of at a point of just stability. Are you at a point where you feel like you don't need to care about that stuff as much? Are you still single? Have you dated anyone at this point? Come on, dude, get it together. I feel like 5 years from now, you'll hopefully be a little more interested in a relationship. Is it easier to talk about your sexuality online? Have you been hurt by anyone over the past few years? Have you stopped falling for the idea of people rather than who they actually are? Did you put down those little rose-colored glasses, bitch? Have you finally accepted that you don't need to stay friends with everyone? Have you accepted that sometimes it's healthier to just let relationships end? Sometimes you gotta let people go, dude. Also, you're a gem. If anybody doesn't want to be your friend, that's their problem. How is the podcast going, future me? Have you kept up with it? How many seasons are you at now? I hope you've kept up with it. Have you put anything up online that's gotten you canceled yet? Does the idea of being canceled still scare the shit out of you? Or have we finally as a society moved past canceling people? Dear future me, did you go through with getting LASIK yet? Have you had any major surgeries at this point? Have you been doing your best to stay healthy? How have you been staying active? What are you doing for exercise now? Have you joined a gym? Did you join Equinox? Are you still doing Chloe Ting videos and college swimming and diving workouts on the roof? Are you still able to motivate yourself to work out, or have your priorities changed? Hey 30-year-old me, do you still have your piercings? Have you kept your nose piercing? Do you still shoot on a Canon? What model iPhone are you at this point? And how does it compare to the iPhone XR? Are you still living with a roommate? If so, is it still just a friend, or is it something more? Do you want to be with someone right now, or are you still content being single, focusing on yourself? Do you still enjoy going out? Do you still enjoy drinking alcohol? Have you smoked a cigarette at this point? God, I really hope not. Is that still your go-to never have I ever? What's the most inspiring thing to you right now, future me? Have you made a movie yet? Have you gotten anything on Netflix or Hulu? Do you still overextend yourself, or have you learned how to say no more? Have you finally figured out how to stop working for free and stop letting people think that they can take advantage of you? Are you still taking the time to watch the sunset? But do you still prefer the sunrise? What music are you listening to right now? Is Chelsea Cutler still your top artist for the 8th year in a row? Do you still think that John Bellion is probably one of your top artists of all time? Did you go to the Olympics? To watch, you dummy, not to compete. Do you still miss diving? Or did you get back into it? Do you have a dog yet? God, I really hope so, because right now you have got that puppy fever. Or can you still not accept that responsibility? It is a huge responsibility. Did you end up in front of the camera or behind the camera more? Are you happy with that? How many tattoos do you have at this point? Is it still 4, or do you have like 40? Do you enjoy having facial hair yet, or do you still think it makes you look weird? What is your favorite country that you've ever been to now? How about favorite city? How many videos have you made at this point? At the point of recording this, you are at probably like 300. Have you won any awards? Do you care about awards? I don't know. Are you gonna stay in the TV world, or are you gonna do something new? Have you bought a house yet, or are you still renting? Have you learned more about investing? Does Bitcoin still exist, or did people find out that that's like not real money? Are you still uploading YouTube videos? Have you gotten back into reading? Did you ever finish watching Game of Thrones? Oh my God, I hope so. Do you give yourself breaks? What is your favorite TV show right now? Is American Horror Story still making seasons? Are they on like 16 at this point? Are you taking up space? Are you being unapologetically yourself every single day? Have you started your own company? Are you going to therapy? Do you feel loved? Are you happy? Thank you guys for watching. I know this was like very cheesy, and also I think it's ironic that I told myself that this video was going to be a look forward to 5 years from now when I'm 30, and then I only used essentially videos from my past. So yes, I'm aware of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I have a very good feeling about this year, so I'm very excited to see where everything goes. I had a lot of thoughts about the outro, and then I saw the sky and they all just kind of like poofed out of my head, so I have a ton of ideas for videos coming up that I'm very excited about. One of them is about how Hollywood is so noisy. Like, literally crazy. Yeah, so the plan for this video was to react to it on my 30th birthday. 30? Can you imagine? 30?
Well, I've got 5 years, so.
That sounded so much bitchier than I meant for it to. I realize that we're all gonna be 30. I have nothing against people who are 30. I feel for you. Just imagining myself getting older. It's weird. It's a weird feeling, okay? I'm sorry.
Really wonder where I'll be. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, click the bell so that you get notified whenever I upload videos. I'm uploading videos every Saturday, potentially vlogs every Wednesday if I'm doing something fun, but that's my plan. If you want to see more of me, all of my socials will be linked in the description below. Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of those things. I guess that is it for this week, and I will see you again next week. And I will see myself in 5 years. Bye. I was gonna film this inside, and then I looked at the sky and I had to come outside. So